And this is Joseph again. This is 179 International Killer Hot Desert Survival Tricks and More. Okay? In this book, you're learning from the real survivors. You're learning from folks, from people that actually deliberately live in the desert in the first place. So these are the folks you're learning from throughout the world and throughout history. Humans and critters. Okay? I want to get to the table of contents here. This first one here, I'm gonna give you a real true survival desert survival story. Two young men went out in the desert and they dang near. I won't tell you the whole story. I won't tell you the story right now. You got to read it. But anyway, let me tell you something that happened to me when I was in 5th Special Forces Group out of Fort Bragg. When they were still in Fort Bragg, we were going to deploy to the Mideast. Well, prior to deploying, they got a habit of deploying to a desert environment to get acclimatized before going to the Mideast. So we went into Oro Grande, New Mexico. So we went there training, and part of the training towards the tail end of it, we did some desert training. What they did, they gave us some training. Then they input teams into the desert, and they strip searched just make sure we weren't carrying any contraband, no food, not one drop of water, nothing, not even bubble gum. Okay, so there we were in different groups, and we were only out there for 5 days. They separated each group by miles. I think our group had about 8-9 people, and so did the other groups, dozen people, whatever it was, and we were separated by a pretty good distance. Anyway, 5 days in that hot desert, they dang near killed us. I tell you, they dang near killed us, and the reason behind that was the teaching point was not to get in that predicament in the first place. Nobody ate any water. Nobody ate any food. Nobody drank any water. As a matter of fact, the people in a group, 3 guys, went out and they found some milky white water type stuff and brought it back for everybody. I don't know what they carried it in. They must have found something to carry it in, because they wouldn't even let us carry any containers, no canteens, nothing. All we had is a PRC 77 for an emergency call in case something came up. Anyway, they wanted to know who wanted to drink this milky white stuff. I said, not me, you know. So I distinctly remember this. They all, about 4, 5, 6 people started drinking it, and immediately they started throwing up, and they just dehydrated themselves even more, and they kept dry heaving and stuff, because whatever they were drinking, they shouldn't have drank it, you know. They should have took a good edibility test or something. But anyway, I think if they'd have left us out there for another 2-3 days, we'd have been dead. No doubt about it. We'd have been dead. They brought us back. As a matter of fact, when the deuce and a halves, 2.5 tons trucks picked us up, they were only about 100-200 meters away, and just getting to the truck was like a death march. So they took us back to the mess hall, and the mess hall had a big meal waiting for all of us, and nobody ate nothing because our stomach shrunk. We just wanted to get a little something in our stomach, like something liquid, and just go to sleep, you know. And I got to tell you, desert is unforgiving. Okay, we were not. None of us were desert trained experts. We were just given a day or 2 of training, and that was it. And then they threw us out there. Okay, let me get on to the table of contents. After that story I tell you, then I go into cook and eat casualties. I explain heat casualties, the medical type terms for them, you know. I go in detail. I put it in my own words, so I don't want to bore you with all kinds of doctor words. Okay, then we get into 1st, 2nd, and 3rd bushman insect repellents. 10 manure uses by the bushmen. And oh, by the way, this is not an alphabetical order. What I did, I separated it by the region, the desert area, by the tribe, or by Native American Indians, that sort of thing, so I can keep it all in its integrity, where the survival tricks came from and which tribe or bushman or whoever was using it. Okay, and I'm just scrolling down here real quick. Man against python, man against anaconda, black gold African tea, antelope food and other uses, Kalahari Desert Bushman. Then I start talking about the Kalaharis out of the Kalahari Desert over in Africa. 1st and 2nd line repeller. Let me tell you this: 1st and 2nd line repeller. There's 6 of them. They're neat tricks to ingenious, and the number 6 one, which we'll scroll down to, is that is worth 1,000 times what you're paying for this book, in case you come up with a lion. Okay. Most famous lion hunt of all times. They made a movie about it. A Maasai lion hunting, Lions Hunt for You, African cooking pot, U.S. Army Ranger School, survival crock pot. That's my own two words on how to make a cooking pot. Listening ears, appetite and thirst suppressant. Whoops, let me scroll up here. Moisture-rich cucumbers. There's a lot of Kalahari tricks there. Kalahari antelope snare, Kalahari smokeout, Kalahari underground fishing. Okay. No antidote poison. And I tell you like it is. I tell you about some of the poisons that these bushmen use, and some of these they use on big game. And if you were to get tagged, a human was to get tagged by some of this poison, I don't care if there's a medevac helicopter right there next to you, you're toast. Okay. And the Cachet added their own snakebite remedy. There's a third lion repellent. Pygmy bushman in the Congo. Ants follow the light. Fat-laden termite trap. Pygmy shelter. And this is an awesome one. Hawlet crocodile escape technique. Okay. You think you're in the water and a crocodile gets a hold of you, you're toast. Well, there's a way out of it. I'll tell you how he did it. Okay, and when you read it, you said, yeah, that makes sense. I can do the same thing. Yeah, you got to do something. You just can't give up. Okay. Unforgiving Sahara Desert. Tagalmus cool clothing. Lazy desert pace. Cool canteen. Dowsing for water. Yes, I talk about dowsing. Dowsing was actually done during World War II. Rommel did it, and so did I can't remember his name now. The Desert Fox, Rommel. I'll think of the other guy, the general's name here real quick. Water conservation, rationing, water techniques, salt lifesaver, forced hydration plan, symptoms of severe hydration, camel dung remedy, camel dung fuel. Let me see. Under sand shelter. Got to have them shelters. Get the heck out of that sun. I'm telling you. And here's a Zulu survival tricks here. Okay. Hadzabe. I talk about these. These are some world-class hunters. Just like all the other bushmen and tribesmen throughout Africa, these guys are world-class. But even when they're world-class, they still have a hunter go out and never come back. So healing moldy bacon fat, healing mold, Israelite mana. Okay. And we're talking Native American Indians here. Mesquite pods, prickly pear fruit, zacaro, cactus, deperi beans, wild spinach, grounded up mesquite pods, prickly pear pads, Indian Gatorade. Got to read about that in your Gatorade. Gourd container, record pause, learn by imitation, burden basket, invitation flash floods, inviting flash floods, mule water finding, antelope water finding trick, horse water finding trick. Then we got to talk about the Digger Indians, white winged dove, Gambel's quail turbans, loose robe type clothing, African victuals, Irish food, buffalo, waist nut, whatnot. That I put that in there because you can relate that to other big game too. Okay. Desert death is quick. Amish air conditioner. I talk about several air conditioners here, and there's that sixth line repellent I tell you about. There's 6 of them total. We're talking ingenious, okay? Secret caches that could save your life. I'm talking about you making your own secret caches. If you're going in a particular area all the time, why not make your own cache so only you know where it's at? So if you get in trouble, well, there's a cache. Cache has to at least satisfy at least the 8 elements of survival, which are fire, water, shelter, first aid, signal, food, weapons, and navigation. And when you make a cache, it's more than just digging a hole and putting stuff in there. There's more to it. So make sure the critters or any even humans can't stumble upon it and find it and dig it up. You know, there's more to it than that, and I'll tell you exactly how to make your own cachet. Okay, let me see here. That's 179 international killer hot desert survival tricks and more. If you go out in desert environments, this is a must-have reading. And even if you don't, this will complement what you already have, what you already know, or think you know. Okay, this book is written from the real survivors. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video.